Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jordan Daniel, and I am the LSPR Communication and Business Institute Indonesia student under the supervision of Mr. Charles Bonar Sirait as my mentor and lecturer. I am here today to talk to you about how renewable energy could save our planet from climate change and global warming. Renewable energy comes in many forms. There are energy that produced by wind, sunlight, water, and many other. In this video, I would like to point out a kind of renewable energy that is fueled or powered by water, current, or flow. This type of energy is called hydropower or hydroelectricity power. Aside from that, I will also point out other forms of renewable energy. But of course, the main focus is hydropower's definition, types, advantages, and disadvantages. As we all know, electricity comes from different type of energy, one of which is the renewable energies that is created by mechanical energy that produced by hydro or water power. The data within this video was first brought up by a YouTube account called Energy Minute a year ago, and a small summary from a YouTube video uploaded by Afterworks, which focus its discussion about the mechanical works of hydropower. The purpose of this video is to gain high and good marks for my mid-exam assignment in Mr. Charles's subject. The electricity that we usually use every day to support the lights, air conditioners, fans, refrigerators, and others in our homes is obtained through power plants that use energy from natural resources, such as fossil combustion, water current, wind, and a more modern one is to take advantage of sunlight using solar panels. Now, many developed countries are starting to abandon fossil energy sources, such as coal, and switch to renewable energy sources such as solar, water, and wind. Of course, in order to save the earth from climate change and global warming. The reason I focus my discussion in hydropower is hydropower can be accessed by Indonesia easily. Of course, it is not cheap and it is very large, but it can easily provide electricity for the whole city. In my opinion, based on the advantages of hydropower plants, hydroelectricity power is very useful for Indonesia, which is rich in natural resources. Cities in Indonesia that are surrounded by rivers and lakes. But what are the advantages of hydropower? I'm glad you asked. Hydropower has been the largest global provider of renewable electricity for over 100 years and represents the first mainstream source of renewable energy. However, many environmental groups don't view large-scale hydro as truly renewable. To sum up, the advantages of hydropower in a simple way, the concept and working principle of hydroelectric power generator has a positive impact on the environment by reducing the carbon footprint, of course, when compared to power plants during the Industrial Revolution, where the potential energy at that time was burning fossil or coal, which is not renewable, and its combustion damage the environment, especially reducing the intake of clean air for the surrounding community due to air pollution. Hydropower also responds quickly to the load of electricity needs. This generator is suitable for use in peak type, which means when load conditions are at the peak or when there is a disruption in distribution due to starting point of a fast hydropower plant. Then the electrical energy converted from water is cheap and environmentally friendly energy. And not to mention the source of hydropower is water, in which a natural energy that is everywhere, and it is cheaper and easier to develop rather than fossil fuel. Hydropower is also free from carbon emissions, so it does not cause pollution and greenhouse effects. There are many benefits of dams that can be used for daily needs of the community. For example, irrigations of rice fields and water reserves when the dry season arrives. However, there are some drawbacks that highlight the disadvantages of hydropower as a renewable energy. But before I explain the drawbacks, here are the working principles of hydropower in general. Reservoirs and dams function as storage for energy source, which is water. A fast pipe or fan stick is a tool that functions to channel water and direct water to the turbine. Turbine is a component to convert potential energy of water into mechanical energy, and generator is a component that functions to produce electrical energy from mechanical energy. The change in potential energy from water flow into electrical energy is the basic principle of hydropower. And thanks to the help of gravity, the dam water is flowed to the turbine. The rotating turbine then continues to spin to the generator and is converted into electrical energy from the mechanical energy created by the turbine. Furthermore, the electric current will pass through the power supply or energy producer and flow to the user via the transmission network. The water that falls on the turbine will then flow into the river so that it can be used for the needs of the community, such as clean water, agricultural irrigation, and other needs. Now the drawbacks are it is expensive and requires a huge amount of cash to build it. Aside from that, one downside of impoundment dams is that they do generate significant life cycle emissions. These are both from the emissions intents of concrete used in their construction, as well as a methane released from the rotting vegetation in the flooded reservoirs. Methane is a greenhouse gas which is 30 times more potent than CO2, and the reservoirs of the impoundment dams have been estimated to generate 23% of all anthropogenic or human-created methane. These reservoirs also restricts the migration of fish like salmon who migrate upriver systems for mating. The area that these reservoirs flood can also be enormous. But to sum up this video, it is crucial to acknowledge that not all reservoirs are the same. Reservoirs with lower temperature or higher oxygen levels will produce less methane than hotter anaerobic ones. And shortly after the dam is built, the reservoir produces essentially the same emissions as a naturally occurring lake. As the dams operate for a long time, approximately more than 100 years, impoundment dams have similar cycle emissions to wind, solar, and nuclear. While hydroelectricity has several key drawbacks, it is the only standalone source of energy other than nuclear which can provide baseload power while producing ultra-low level of emissions. It is a key part of our planet energy ecosystem and will continue to be far into the future. So, hydropower is a very suitable renewable power to soon be implemented by all nations in order to support a more sustainable world as the SDGs are trying to reach. I would like to express my gratefulness for your attention and hope that this sharing session gives all of you a clear perspective towards renewable energy, pros and cons, especially hydropower. If you need further and detailed information regarding the issues, kindly text in the comment section below. Have a great sustainable living. Thank you.